Thank you all, and a warm greetings to all of you from all the sacred in the universe, from all the blessings, from all the pure, the spiritual, all the things that are like you. We are very delighted to have you all here. It is the delight of my eyes to see you here, and that is one of my achievements. Thank you very much for being here for this day. For introducing the conference and the theme of the day, allow me, with all the pleasure, to introduce Mr. Paul Deere, the lead of the Equality of the Welsh Assembly Government, to address you with the word of support from our Honorable First Minister, Carwyn Jones. It is your stage, Paul. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's very good to be here. Yes, my name's Paul Deere. I'm the head of the Equality team at the Welsh Government. But I'm here, as Dr. Mohammed says, to bring a word of greeting to you from the First Minister, Carwyn Jones, who's not able to be here today, but wanted to send this greeting to you. So I'll just read out his words, and then I will just add a couple of words of my own, if that's all right. So from Carwyn Jones. I'm sorry I'm unable to be with you today. I congratulate the Onyx Link Foundation on all their work in organising this important conference. Religion and belief are very important factors in promoting community cohesion, which has never been more important than it is at present. This is why the Welsh Government is committed to working with faith communities to continue to foster and promote shared values and understanding across Wales. Our Faith Communities Forum, which I chair myself, meets regularly to give expression to this commitment and to help to strengthen our engagement with people of all faiths. To echo the words of Martin Luther King, who died 50 years ago in April, we must continue to work together to build a strong and diverse society where people are not to be judged by the colour of their skin, but by the content of their character. I very much hope that your discussions today will help to build and strengthen the foundations for this endeavour, and I send my best wishes for a thought-provoking and productive conference. And that's from Carwyn Jones AM, the First Minister of Wales. I'm very grateful. I will take this back to the First Minister, who I'm sure will want to express his thanks for it.
Unfortunately, even in this day and age where communication is made so easy, in your hand you can access the entire world. However, still there were those barriers. Barriers that, to the level that neighbors who are door to door, they may know about themselves through the media, through the TV, the newspapers, and so on. But our hope is that from today, we want to communicate face to face, to get to know ourselves first-hand, first experience. Just get together. And let no one actually interpret or explain your state of mind, your position, your beliefs. No, share it. Sharing is loving and caring, and that we will have to carry it all through. Also, the Onyx. Why the Onyx? Just few words. In fact, more than 40 years ago, when I met my spiritual teacher, that I'm very honorable to see him today sitting in our conference, and that is Sheikh Nayel Abdul Qadir Abu Groon from Sudan. However, from day one, he started tackling this issue of barriers to inclusion, barriers to the oneness of humanity, barriers to acknowledging morality, and barriers to making peace. So with all his work for 40 years, the Onyx Link Foundation was born. It is these things that the other, in fact, is a virus. So let us, from here, remove it from our language, from our thoughts, from our culture, and from our morality as well. We are one, surely, even if we don't want to acknowledge that. The DNA of Adam, the father of humanity, in my tradition, and I trust in the others, even in those, for those who believe in evolution, the primordial DNA was one. So Adam is living in all of you. And the first human being is living in all of you. The first family is still walking with your legs, seeing with your eyes, and talking with your tongues. So let us go back to that family. I think that this day we need it. And I trust these good hearts will do it. This is our day. So make it for yourselves. And thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
In Judaism, family is one of the most important traditions and institutions. The first commandment in the Torah and the Jewish Bible is to be fruitful and multiply, because without family in the world, God's mission wouldn't happen. People need to be in the world in order to fulfill God's mission upon the earth. And as a wise man once said, man is incomplete until he's married. Then he's finished. So people would assume, therefore, that for Jews the most important place is the synagogue, the holiest place, the place of worship. But actually, for Jewish people, the home is far more important. It's in the home that most of the traditions and practices of Judaism actually take place. For example, the observance of the dietary laws of kosher. All of the laws of the Sabbath, the day of rest, the Jewish festivals, most of those are observed primarily in the home. And most crucially, the observance of a loving marriage, the bond between husband and wife, those also are kept at home, and of course that is most holy. Teaching us right from the get-go that the most important thing to God is for us to live in harmony and for us never ever to kill in the name of our way of religious worship. Never to think of the way of the other as being abhorrent and therefore a target for death and murder. We are all one family, and we must all live together in this world despite having different views, and your views may contradict my views. I may not agree with your view. I may think your view is ridiculous, and you may think my view is ridiculous. But still, I must recognize and respect your right to have a view, even though it may very much differ from my own. This is Judaism's attitude to morality.
The first words of Jesus recorded in the Gospels were, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." And one of the central tenets of the Christian faith is this belief in repentance, the ability to change through God's grace and through God's love, to change the way we do things, to change the way we live our life, to change and to make a new beginning. And I'm delighted to be at this conference because it seems to me that we in the faith traditions of the world are being given an opportunity to change. The first change I think that we're invited to make is to move from hostility to hospitality. So often the faith traditions of this world have been hostile to one another. It's said that you can put 3 Anglicans into a room and you'll get 4 different opinions. So even within Anglicanism, we can disagree sometimes very heatedly. And if that is true within the Anglican tradition, it has sadly been true of the relations of the Christian faith with the other faiths of this world. But I believe if we can make the 3 shifts, from hostility to hospitality, from suspicion to celebration, from hatred to hope, then together we will be able to change the world for the better, and together we will be able to celebrate our difference. Fundamentally, the Christian revelation is a revelation that God is love, and that therefore humanity lives to its fullest extent when it lives in love.
In fact, as Baha'u'llah states, there is no way to estimate the value of each and every virtue. They are indeed inestimable. Although every intelligent and wise person recognizes the pivotal importance of virtues or values in all human relationships, whether within the family, between friends, neighbors, colleagues, in business, in governance and the like, nonetheless, humanity is fettered with handed-down prejudices, ideologies that engender war, parochial attachments, materialistic interpretations of reality, and alienating religious interpretations of Holy Scriptures. All these and other factors are as poisons in the life of mankind, vitiating the love we would wish to share with the people of the earth, dearly loved peoples, who are our family members, precious, noble beings, created in the image and likeness of God. This is the age to realize that mankind is one. This is the age, for the first time in the history of mankind, that it is possible to unite the planet. This is the age promised by all the great teachers of humanity, the gathering together of the human family. Baha'u'llah appeals to us that we should not separate from each other regarding some as strangers, that we should root out whatever is a source of contention in our love to bring peace and harmony to the world. He writes that all peoples are the leaves of one tree and the drops of one ocean, that the earth is but one country and mankind its citizens. We are informed, and to know that everyone has been created to carry forward an ever-advancing civilization. We are informed in the Baha'i writings that advances or progress will be through the harmonious interrelationship of phenomenal material developments and the mature application of spiritual understandings about governance, human nature, and the nurturing of all human virtues latent within the human spirit. We are warned that if this is not done, then Abdu'l-Baha spoke about this around about 1910, that dangers, severe calamities, and violent afflictions are imminent. At this point in history, each individual can become aware that they can make a unique contribution to the betterment of society if they focus on carrying forward an ever-advancing civilization.
Okay, first of all, it's my pleasure to be here with you today. Thanks to Onyx. And for those who had the opportunity to speak before, it was such an amazing gathering today. And just a few minutes with the magic of poetry, the rhythm of the universe, music, the language of the universe. حتى ينجلي أمري فأكشف فيه عن ساقي ومن لم يرغبا قولي نظرت له بإشفاقي إني في الذرى وحدي ألوح لكل تواقي لأني عنده أزلا أبدا عبده الباقي
So now I'm going to look at the individual, and I'm changing the image from a mountain to a diamond. What is a diamond? A diamond is clear and shining and transparent. A diamond lets everything into itself and it moves out through itself. A diamond has no colour of its own, but can take on the colour of anything that touches it. But it doesn't retain that colour. The colour can just carry on through and be reflected. We need to be diamonds and receive colour without prejudice. We need to reflect and refract colour without prejudice, but remain luminescent, always capable to take on the colour that is offered us by other beings. Not to say, oh, I've become red. I've had lots of red stuff coming at me and I like the red stuff. So no, I can't take any blue. I'm a red diamond now. No, we want to stay clear so that red can be received and pink can be received and yellow can be received. The wonderful range that the universe offers us, we can receive it all. And we receive it, but we remain clear and empty and open to whatever we receive. We remain luminescent for everybody.
It's being able to use your own energy to understand that, as he says, every man and woman is a star. To not feel small and insignificant. To be able to look at the wind and the wolf and the rain and the rainbows and say, hey, do you know what? I'm made of the same stuff as that. That makes me powerful. That makes me part of the divine, part of God, or whatever we want to call it. We believe that the divine is reflected in all of us. We believe that the divine is both masculine and feminine, and that there is no great good and no great evil, because our religion is based on nature. And on nature, there are beautiful, incredible things, and there are heartbreaking, devastating things. And we will each see all of these in our lives. And so for us, God is represented in all of those, in the dependence to have night and day, to have woman and man. So the crux for us of humanity really is to understand that everything requires balance, that we are all connected, that it doesn't matter where you are from or what you are from or what you practice. It's down to the walk that you walk. And if you can walk with your heart open, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. You know, be kind to people. Don't hurt people on purpose. We have something called the threefold law. Everything we send out will come back 3 times. It's karma, baby. And it is real. What we send out, it comes back at us. Whether it comes back with a smile, we walk down the road, we smile at somebody, they're going to smile at somebody else, and suddenly you've got this wonderful pay it forward. Or you wake up in a rotten mood and you make somebody cry. And then for the rest of the day, they're going to be miserable and they're going to make other people sad. We take that as far as energy goes as well.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير.
A slight caveat before we begin. The presentation today is actually beyond the established boundaries of different Muslim sects. Our differences in theological fine points, our differences in schools of jurisprudence, as well as our differences, let's say, in political activism as well. So the presentation, in fact, is drawn from the overwhelming foundational message of Islam, in which God says in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا كَافَةً لِلنَّاسِ بَشِيرًا وَنَذِيرًا, that we have not sent you, O Prophet Muhammad, except as a bearer of glad tidings and a warner to all of mankind. And also it says in the 21st chapter of the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, that we have not sent you, O Prophet Muhammad, except as a mercy to the entire universe. So I hope this presentation, in fact, illustrates our shared values from within this message of compassion and mercy, and that it fulfills the honorable and noble title of today's conference. So this oneness of worth and honor is the basis for our equal rights and responsibilities for interaction with one another. In fact, the equality, in fact, is the foundation of morality. Let me say that one more time. Equality is the foundation of morality. It is the threshold of morality. The diversity in our races, colors, cultures, and languages should be wonders to celebrate rather than grounds for discrimination. It is the religion of all the prophets from Adam to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them all, who received this message of morality through divine revelation. And it is the wisdom taught by our enlightened spiritual leaders through the history of humanity who discovered this birthright through deep contemplation. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. The conjunction innama in Arabic has the idea of what's known as adatul hasr. It limits, it's a limiting or a specifying conjunction. So the meaning of the statement of the Prophet is that the only reason I was sent is to perfect moral character. This is the Islam that embraces all humanity in a civil society where people peacefully coexist. Since the Muslim is defined as the one whose tongue and hand people are safe from. And the faithful one, the mu'min, is the one whom people trust with their lives and belongings. Morality, thus, is for happiness in this world and the other world, life. Thank you.
Initiation was given as an order to protect the freedom of conscience and religious qualities of saint soldiers to the devotees. Sikhs believe that human beings spend their time in a circle of birth, life, and rebirth. This belief is shared with the followers of other religions such as Hindus, Jains, and Buddhists. Quality of each life depends on their karma. We live in a cynical world that appears to be numbered and helpless in the face of appalling conflict, injustice, and inequality. Current world we live in is scientifically very clever. But blurred in morality. Surprisingly, many people turn towards religion. Sikhs' religion was founded in very difficult and turbulent time. First Master himself was an eyewitness to cruelty, aristocracies, and forced conversion at that time. He challenged the myth of ethnic or religious superiority, as mentioned by previous speakers as well. In his historic words, he said, "Na koi Hindu, na koi Musalman, neither there is a Hindu nor there is a Muslim. God is not interested in labels. Different religions are simply different paths to a goal of understanding and living in conformity with the will of God." To conclude, my experiences on this topic have shown me that today it is important to have an open discussion and understanding of religion's faith through education, discussion, to have an appreciation of the viewpoints of others. It is also paramount to find commonalities of natural acts or deeds that serve all the humanity, although the method and in some ways the instances and ideology may differ. An interactive forum of discussion about commonality of purpose and appreciation of diversity is a strong basis for finding grounds for peaceful coexistence. However, on the other hand, lack of knowledge, or inadequate understanding of a perspective of others' viewpoints can lead to missed opportunity and dismay. I can pause here and say we've got a very good opportunity, a great opportunity, and we must take this opportunity forward and get something good going for, if not the whole nation, at least for Wales.
First of all, allow me to invite my panelists to share. Feel free to take the chance if you have some reflections, things that you want to add that may illustrate more your presentation or thoughts about the day, please.
Dear friends, I want to speak as a passionate Welshman, if you don't mind. I think getting together today is extraordinary, and all the hard work that's gone into this wonderful conference is amazing. The spirit of oneness here is fantastic, but it needn't stay in this room. It has to go out. You know, Baha'u'llah speaks about looking at the needs of the age we live in. And the need of this age is to make it plain to people that religion, in essence, is one. We've come to understand that we're one humanity on this planet, and that's taken the whole of the 20th century of the greatest horrors that the world has ever known, through 2 world wars and all the other horrors of leftovers of colonialism and so on. It's taken us 100 years of terror to realize that we're one mankind on this planet. Is it going to take another 100 years to realize the essence of religion is one? And in that, will this commit us to more heinous crimes perpetrated against fellow human beings from the same family? It mustn't do this, love. It mustn't do it. We must love our faith. We must love the essence of our faith. But most of all, we must love each other. The future is with young people. We must speak with young people want to see us from the various faith communities working together to restore hope. They don't see, they see on the news all the differences and all the terrible ruptures between humanity because of so-called misunderstandings of religion, and they hate religion because of it. I used to as well. Friends, I thought religion was the problem in the world, not the answer. Okay? The answer is deeply rooted in all the faiths, and we have to bring this out.
What I've learned today is we are all from different places. We are all from different paths. Now, there was a fairly big blockbuster a few years ago called Avatar. And they use a particular greeting in that film, which they didn't create. That is from several very old civilizations. But when they see each other, their greeting, instead of hi, is, I see you. And that touched me profoundly then. And that is something that I'm reminded of today. I look around and I don't see the path that you're on. I don't see where you've come from. I'm seeing you and you're seeing me, and we're seeing each other as people, as souls, as, I want to say earth warriors. But that's what we are. We're here with one mission together, and I see you, and I thank you for that.
Thank you. I could only really reiterate the comments that have already been made. We've seen today a huge display of unity, and really the purpose of what we're all here in this world for, to make the world better for each other and for the world as a whole. I think one of the things we often see is we often come to these kind of interfaith conferences, and today was a particularly good conference. But I think what's important is many of us here are faith leaders or people, if you will, who are engaged. But there's a huge amount of people, if you will, who are not here, who don't know that there's many, many faith leaders here sitting together saying pretty much the same thing. And I think it's important that not only do we share this message here, but we share this message outside. And so people, if you will, who are not here, who are in our communities or whatever circles we may be in, also understand this message of unity, that actually this is the main purpose, this is what it's all about. And this is, from my faith perspective, what I want my faith to understand and follow. And I hope that this is the message that goes out from today.
Thank you very much. IT, Ibrahim, Yasin following, and I understand that, Ibrahim, you got a question from the live streaming. Can you first tell us from which part of the world is that?
We believe that it's from Jordan, actually. From
Okay.
Jordan in the Middle East. From a lady known as Nada Hassan. And her question, and it's to the whole panel, is what is the main relationship between all the religions as you've gathered from your proceedings today? And what would be the most important and prominent message that we need to spread to society after this conference?
Oh.
It's quite an in-depth question.
It needs another conference. If anyone would like to come. Yeah, sir.
I would like to pick up on something that my pagan sister said to me,
Yeah.
said to us, because she talked about Avatar and the greeting in Avatar. Actually, it's rooted in the culture of this world as well, because the Zulu greeting is Sawubona, which is I see you. And for me, this is the message that I would want to convey to those out in the world. We see each other. We recognize each other. We give worth and value and respect to each other. Because if we can respect each other and if we can acknowledge the integrity of one another, then we cannot any longer do violence to one another.
Thank you.
And that is something that this world needs to learn.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you very much, Bishop Cameron.
I just wanted to mention that I take on board everything that the panels have said, especially about the issues of unity and the differences and everything. A story just came to my mind of when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when he first went into Medina. And obviously he classified everyone in that city to be citizens, regardless of whatever their faith, or no faith in fact. Because you had fire worshippers there, you had Christians, you had Jews and so on. And they were all classified as one citizen.
Interestingly, this question is from a teenager, a youth, and which is obviously quite important, and it's to the whole panel. The question is, what would be the next step for us to spread this message? What do you think we can do as teenagers and people living in this community to spread this lovely message?
Well, I think we should have had, if it was not exam days or a school day, we would welcome young people, teenagers, to be part of it and to be speakers and give their point of view. That would be the next step for me, to organize an event where we have young people, not on a school day, not on an exam day, to come and give their views.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
I, with Mr. Gregory, Dr. Gregory, is it? Who's just left. I joined him with a couple of sixth form conferences with him, and I've done a couple since then as well. And I think going into schools, that maybe we should approach the sacres a little more and encourage that religious people, maybe not even leaders, just people who practice a religion, are invited into schools just to talk about what it means to them on a very personal level. And my experience when I've gone into schools is that you get some fantastic questions because they're completely unguarded. They have no concept of, this is a question I can't ask this person. They're incredibly direct and they really put you on the spot. And that is very inspiring to try and answer these questions.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a good thing to do.
So Magdi has asked me just to share a little bit about myself and where we've come from. So I'm teacher of world religions at a school called United World College of the Atlantic. You may have heard of it. United World Colleges is an international network of colleges all across the globe. There's 17. And the first one, the original United World College, was founded here in South Wales in St Donets, near Llanthwit Major, 1962. And actually the World Religions International Baccalaureate course was founded there. So the college has a rich history of teaching world religions.
It is very, very important to spread this message to the youth. Why? Because the youth are the future.
Sure.
Yeah? And we will not teach them as academic thing. We will not give them a book or give them studying as academic. But I think we can give them the message indirect. If we can, for example, arrange an event like sport, like football, rugby, and we can invite youth from different faiths or different background, so they can involve each other. However, they have different thoughts or different faiths, but at the same time, in the end, they are all human. So in the end of the game or match, they hug each other, they shake hands, they mutual understanding. So this is just I want to add this point regarding with the youth especially, and they like this kind of activities. You can attract them.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So this is the conference declaration. Declaration of the Wales Interfaith Conference, Cardiff, 10th of May, 2018. We, the faith leaders and communities meeting at the Wales Interfaith Conference, Cardiff, 10th of May, 2018, agree on the following. Humanity is one. Therefore, we have a strong hold on equality, respect, and worth. We respect our differences and acknowledge that diversity in faith, race, gender, or culture enriches our oneness and strengthens our community relations. We agree that morality is based on doing good to others and refraining from causing harm. This is the foundation upon which we can build good community relations, respect, and love. Earth is our only home. Thanks, Dr. Gregory, for that. This necessitates our collaboration, responsible and peaceful coexistence, and it is on us to maintain its balanced system within which we live and thrive. Therefore, it is our responsibility to live in harmony with all the components of the planet and maintain it suitable for us as a place for us and our future generations to live. Our agreement on the above will surely pave the way for our collaboration in community activities that improve the quality of our environment and community relations. Now, Rabbi Michael Rose is signing on behalf of the Jewish community in Cardiff. Thank you very much, Rabbi. And now, Councillor Nita is signing. Thank you very much. And I think I'm going to sign it, even though I am not standing for any faith, but I believe in all of you. And I think now the presentation of the gifts, we would like actually to leave these gifts with our honorable panel who contributed, in fact, who made this conference. We are just organizers. We are the Onyx Link. So we link people like you, jewels, to a large set so that we will have a wonderful and adorable necklace or jewelry that will live there as long as time. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, shall we arrange for that? We will. Yeah. Shall we invite first our quality and research director, Sheikh Niyal Abdul Qadir Abu Groon, to the stage so as to present.
Thank you very much. If I may say in Welsh, diolch o galon. Thank you from the heart for organising today.
May I now invite Sheikh Muhammad Tulba from South Wales Islamic Center for their contribution to the conference. There is our final tea and coffee break. It is what we call getting to know one another or getting to see one another.